From Minneapolis, Minnesota, you're watching NABJ TV News.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Zora Stevenson, and thanks for joining us.
Hi, I'm Raji Ramanathan. Thanks for joining us today for the live webcast. It's been a great couple days at conference.
Oh, it's been a great week at conference. I just want to mention that we do have a live studio audience with us, and we'll be hearing from some of them throughout the show. The biggest thing, though, going on throughout this convention are the elections. There's a lot of different people up for a lot of different positions, but the biggest conversation starter is the presidential race between Myra Lowe and Sarah Glover. Our Rachel Scott got to catch up with them.
I am the one who's ready to hit the ground running as your next NABJ president.
It's time for a fresh start. It's time to reimagine NABJ for the digital age.
It's time for one final push. NABJ presidential candidates Myra Lowe and Sarah Glover want your attention and your vote.
What I bring is I bring the outside into the association, bringing those relationships, bringing in the knowledge.
A feature editor for CNN, Lowe says that outside experience makes her the perfect candidate. At the top of her list?
So alliances, online training, and presenting and telling our story better.
While Glover says it's all about the money.
Finances is going to be the focal point of our organization because, you can have great ideas till tomorrow morning, but if you don't have the resources to put those ideas into play, they're just ideas.
Glover, a social media editor for NBC, wants to assure members that she can get the job done.
I'm not a talker, I'm a doer. So I'd like to get down to the business of our organization and move us forward.
You can vote on your phone or you can vote near the registration booth in Exhibit Hall B. Either way, the candidates say it doesn't matter how you cast your ballot as long as you do.
I think every member has or should want to have a voice in the leadership of this association.
Both candidates insist it's not about them, but the organization, which means working together, win or lose. Rachel Scott, NABJ.
The elections are off to a great start, but don't forget to cast your vote by 5 p.m. tonight online.
Now, something interesting this year is that no one decided to run for the student representative position, so that will be appointed when the new president is elected.
But yesterday there was tense moments at the Hilton Hotel yesterday, and you were there. What happened?
Well, journalists were here looking to get away, and they ended up in the middle of breaking news. Some people even wound up covering it via social media. Watch this.
Yeah.
So we just saw some SWAT members come in, and there might be potentially a hostage situation. Yeah, the 22nd floor. So they're blocking off floors 21, 22, and 23. So we're really not sure if, what the next steps are going to be, but as of right now, everybody's sort of just waiting. So.
I was going back to get my phone chargers, and I saw cops outside, and I heard there might be a possible situation, so I go upstairs to my room to get my chargers, and the elevator opened, and there were cops. He said, give us 10, 15 minutes. And I saw a stretcher outside in the hallway, so I've been waiting to see what's going on. I see a lot of people in the hallway, in the lobby waiting. The cops are here, but yeah, I can't get to my room right now.
An individual that's pulled up in a room.
No one else in the room that you know of?
I can't comment.
Is the individual a guest at the hotel?
That I'm not.
Is he in a room in the hotel?
He is.
Who called?
Thank you.
Can you tell us who called about it?
Now, as you saw in the video, the police were releasing limited information at the time of the incident, but they did say that somebody is in custody, and they did recover a gun from the situation. No one is harmed. They said he was arrested, and he is booked for probable cause of second assault. And it was just a very, very humbling opportunity to be able to cover breaking news and be on the scene, and we'll be hearing from some other student project participants that were there as well.
Sure, and if you saw on social media, this was the first time conference attendees have seen such breaking news happen at a hotel convention. But that's not the only thing that's new this year. If you see your hotel badges, there's a special sticker on them, and that sticker is there because last year, many people tried to sneak into the hotel convention and did not register. And so because of that, NABJ administrators have put on the sticker with a special identity code to make sure that people who are attending are registered.
And many African Americans are continuing to get increases in their salaries, but with that, they aren't necessarily managing their finances as much and as well as they should be. Less African Americans are investing in retirement plans, and only 74% actually contribute to offered retired plans. And that is much, much lower than the general working population, which is 85% adding to their plans. But former New York Giant running back Delvin Joyce says that isn't the only issue.
Now, an area where they were not so prepared, where they gave themselves the worst grades, was around transferring wealth and investing and saving and investing for children's education.
You know, Zora, one of the biggest events this year is the career fair. I mean, it's exciting. People are out there getting jobs. And we actually sent out Le Bohan to go cover the event.
Let's take a look.
You can call me Court for short. Statistics by the American Association of News Editors and the Association of Electronic Journalists show that there is a decline in the number of minority journalists in American newsrooms. And with the media platform in constant flux, the question then becomes, what exactly are media companies looking for?
You have to know your market. In a TV newsroom, it's all about fit. It's all about what you need. I've met probably 8 or 10 reporters today that could easily work in my newsroom, but I don't have a position for them right now. I'm looking for a niche position, maybe an anchor reporter, and they just report. Or maybe I need a reporter, but they want to anchor and report.
While these companies are on the prowl for upcoming journalists, they are also be mindful of future lookouts. And even if you are prepared, that might not be enough.
You can have a degree from Harvard University. That's not going to get you that opportunity that you need. It's about experience and your drive and not taking no for an answer. There's been so many times I've heard no, so many times, but I just need that one yes.
This is where job seekers are set apart. If you're quick enough to grasp that opportunity, the job is yours. But if you're sloppy on the look, just like a news story, you might not make the cut. Lebogang Mokoena, NABJ TV.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Look forward to hearing from you.
You will hear from me.
The career fair is open until Saturday.
Great. You know, this conference has been great, but many people are already looking forward to next year's conference in D.C.
Oh, I'm extremely, extremely excited about Washington, D.C., our nation's capital. I know everybody is excited to take on the city, but the biggest thing is the collaboration between NABJ and NAHJ.
Is that a thing next year?
Oh, that's definitely happening, and our Peter Sherwood talked to both presidents. Let's take a look.
Several years ago, even before I became president, the then president of NAHJ called me and said, Bob, you know, I think since we're both out of unity, we should do a joint convention.
Talked with Bob and NABJ, and we really saw a potential to put on a very intriguing and very powerful conference in a very important political year.
I love it when we come together because for them it's easier. It takes pressure off their budget.
It's not only going to prove to be a dynamic conference, it's going to prove to be a dynamic experience that no one wants to miss next year.
Coming up next, a tragic case of mistaken identity, and a local woman shares her story of alleged police misconduct. Stay with us.
All of us at WCCO TV are honored to support the National Association of Black Journalists.
Your commitment to recognizing and developing talent and providing programs and services to black journalists worldwide is truly inspiring.
Thank you, NABJ.
People say content is king for a reason. It's what draws you in, makes you stay, keeps you coming back for more. Your options are endless, but you want one local news source you can trust. You want WCCO. We're telling your stories and sharing your experiences from all four corners of this great state. People say content is king. WCCO, always.
People used to ask me all the time if I got excited during severe weather. Ooh, tornadoes, is that like, yes, this is what I got into the business for? The answer is no. I hate when tornadoes hit because nothing good comes of it. But it's a reality, and it's something I'm prepared to cover when it hits.
At NBC Universal, we continue to honor those before us and add to this rich living history, continuing the tradition of sharing the most entertaining, inspiring, and pertinent stories of our time.
We got an exclusive interview with Tania Harris, and she shared her story with us. Her mother actually called the police one night, and then it kind of came back on her, and she was actually shot 3 times.
You know, it's been a scarring moment in her life. I mean, we've seen a lot of historical and just tragic events happening across the country, and to hear from her must have been just it's just unimaginable.
Yeah, let's see what she says.
I didn't die, and I appreciate that. But at the same time, I still do want justice for, being in that predicament.
The predicament 18-year-old Tania Harris is speaking of occurred in April in Robbinsdale. She says she was shot by a police officer after he discovered her holding a knife.
I was in an altercation with another female. She actually came to my house, came inside my house, and my mom, escorted her out, called the police, and they just seen me with the weapon in my hand, and they shot me 3 times.
Standing nearby, she says, was her 1-year-old daughter.
I feel like my life didn't matter. Like when I asked the police, why did you shoot me? I have a child right there, right? But, she was a few feet away from me, and he just said he don't know. And it's not enough reason to just keep shooting us.
What we're seeing is that there is a huge distrust of law enforcement and police.
Michael McDowell is a founding member of Black Lives Matter Minneapolis. He spoke at a recent panel discussion hosted by Neighborhoods Organizing for Change on police and community relations. The event was prompted by the anniversary of Michael Brown's death and cases like Harris's.
So we're looking to figure out how the community can have more of a role in hiring police, and with these high-profile shootings and stuff like that, it's actually the community deciding what happens with this cop.
Folks in positions of authority who don't want to bring forward the narrative that matters to our community, we need our journalists to push back against that mentality and to say that we need to hear from the people.
And from Tania's point of view, people are skeptical.
Who can I trust? Because, my mom called them to protect us, and, they shot her child. So, how are we supposed to feel?
This week, the organization MACV and NABJ partnered together to help homeless veterans get on their feet.
And it's an issue that affects our own NABJ president. Student reporter Valerie Young is with us, and she actually got to talk with him, and she was at an event this week.
Thanks, Zora. Thanks, Raji. Yes, I actually spoke with the president this week, and he said that this is an issue that's near and dear to his heart. We also spoke with some other soldiers, and we have their story. Take a look. When the national anthem plays, it evokes a sense of pride for these vets. But look a little closer, and you may see a soldier fighting to make it as a civilian.
I had nowhere to go. I was serious about changing my life, but then what?
63-year-old Air Force veteran Doran Hocker says the MACV and the Stand Down events have helped him to change his life.
I've come from living in the street, drug addicted, alcohol, to being invited to the White House to meet our First Lady.
Hocker's story is John Zimmer's story. This 62-year-old Navy veteran says he couldn't afford a haircut since he lost his job, and this free trim will help.
I'm a vet and looking for work, and been looking for about a year.
This Stand Down event has a special place in NABJ President Bob Butler's heart.
I know what it's like to be out on the street. It is not fun.
Butler served 3 years in the Navy and says he was homeless for a short period.
I never forget walking around the streets of Philadelphia at night, trying to find some place to sit down, some place to lay down.
That's one reason he pushed for NABJ to partner with MACV.
I chose veterans because I'm a veteran.
U.S. servicemen get assistance with housing, health benefits, legal, and other services for free. Also, the MACV has coordinated with many companies to donate much-needed items to the veterans, things such as this T-shirt here, diabetic socks, underwear, and even much-needed items like shampoo and toothpaste. Hocker now gives back to the organization that helped him to get back on his feet.
Part of what I do is give other people that hope.
And the NABJ is also donating furniture to the MACV during the conference this week.
All right, thanks so much, Valerie. All week, and I'm really, really sorry to say I have not been able to explore the city, but Raji, you definitely have.
Oh, of course. I mean, that was my first assignment. The moment I stepped here, the first thing I did was tour Minneapolis. And why? That was my first assignment, and it was super exciting. You can do that too for less than $5. Just find out how. 6 blocks from the Hotel and Convention Center is the Nicollet Mall Light Rail Station. For less than $2, you can hop on the Blue Line and explore Minneapolis. Want a great background for your selfie? Only 2 stops from Nicollet Mall is the new Vikings Stadium. Minneapolis is home to the Vikings football team. In 2018, the $1 billion stadium will host a Super Bowl. The following year, NCAA Final Four. If you want to escape downtown without leaving the city, Minneapolis is the perfect place with its many parks and trails. A popular spot, Minnehaha Falls. This 53-foot waterfall spills into the Mississippi River. It's no secret that Minnesota is land of the 10,000 lakes. Walk a few blocks from Minnehaha Falls and you'll be at Lake Nokomis. Here you can paddleboard, swim, kayak, or go for a walk around the lake. Take the blue line to the end and you'll reach Mall of America. There are roller coasters and even a zip line inside the mall. This is the largest mall in North America. 7 Yankee stadiums can fit inside. If you don't want to take advantage of the 520 stores, check out a movie. NABJ participants will be among the 40 million people that visit the mall every year. In case you didn't know, in Minnesota, there's no sales tax on clothes. For NABJ TV, this is Raji Ramanathan. Now, if you excuse me, I've got some shopping to do. That was so much fun. I mean, if you ever get any free time from all the hard work that we're doing here, you should definitely go check out some of those locations.
Oh, I most definitely will. But speaking of hard work, that's something we've definitely been doing all week. But Raji and I aren't the only ones. There's been other people involved in the student projects. We have print, online, Converge team, and so we're joined by them now. Right now, I have Tori Tuitt. If you just want to explain your experience so far, and this is your second year in the project.
Well, last year I was on copy desk. This year I'm on the print team, and my days have been very busy, just full 12-hour days. But it's been really exciting. I've got to work on multiple stories, which Sean heard, and including doing breaking news, which we were live tweeting during the whole hotel situation.
And speaking of breaking news, just explain what was going through your mind and what you were thinking while covering that. It's just an amazing opportunity.
Well, I was a little nervous, but of course we were excited. We're journalists, but we made sure that everything we tweeted was either what we saw or what officials were telling us.
Alrighty, and it was great seeing you. Yeah.
And that's not it. We have Kay Ingram here. Hi, Kay.
Hi, Raji. Nice to see you so soon.
Nice to see you too. So Kay was our producer for this TV portion of the student projects. How was that?
That I was. So this was actually my first time at the NABJ convention, and my first task was to be a producer. We've been going nonstop, as you mentioned. You know, Corey touched on that. We've been going, but it's been such a great experience working with you guys as reporters, seeing your packages come through, and working with WCCO TV. They've been incredible, you know, helping us shoot, and it's just been nice to see that come together.
And you work really closely with Jennifer Wiggins, who's a professional in the industry. So tell us a little bit about how that was.
Yeah, so all the students are assigned a mentor throughout the student projects, and I was with Jennifer Wiggins, who was my mentor, and so she also was incredible. I cannot emphasize that enough. She really sat down with me, went over stories, made sure we were on top of things, and got to the studio and made sure our newscast was on point. So she helped me a lot with that, and I appreciated it.
Well, thank you, Kay. I mean, you kept us on task, you kept us on time, so thank you for that. Thank you for joining us.
All right, thank you, Corey, as well.
All right, up next we have 2 more students who are joining us from the student projects as well.
Well, you know, we actually have a lot of students here at the NABJ convention who are not a part of the student projects, and so they might have a different perspective, and you probably get to do a lot more than we do. Let's talk about what are some things you've done so far?
Some of the things I've done, I've got to explore the city. I've never been to Minneapolis. I have gone to lots of sessions within the convention that are being held for students and people just to be here, and it's been a great experience. This is my second convention. I'm a rising sophomore at Indiana University, and I can not be more happy to be here.
And what is your goal, your ultimate goal in terms of conquering the convention?
My ultimate goal would definitely be to just build my network and just connect with so many professionals that will get me to where I want to be when I am in their position later in life.
Alrighty, good luck with that.
Hi, we have one more student. Hi, what's your name?
Hi, I'm Brittany Marcus, and I'm happy to be here. This is my second year as well, and I have been doing a lot of networking sessions, just putting myself out there, connecting with professionals, so it's been amazing.
Brittany, you said you've attended a lot of sessions. Do you have a favorite one that you really enjoyed?
Yes, my favorite one was the PR and communication session. I actually won something at the session, so I was really excited about that. I get to get one of my press releases distributed through a lot of companies and organizations, so I'm excited about that.
That does definitely sound exciting. Well, congratulations, and thank you for joining us. I hope you have a good time at the rest of convention.
All right, thank you both. Now, getting a global perspective is very, very important, especially when it comes to journalism.
Definitely. I mean, for us, it's one thing to be here and kind of be journalists and kind of get that worldwide perspective, but to come from another country is definitely something else.
Yeah, and we have some students from Africa that are actually here at the convention, so we're going to hear from them and talk about their experiences and some things that they were working on at the convention. And a broadcast student, Level Han, is here with us. If you just want to talk about the biggest and best memory you've had so far being here in the United States at this NABJ convention.
It's been great. We learned a lot. It's been awesome. Already said that. But yeah, it's been a week of intense work. The mentors are great. They taught us quite a lot. It's fast-paced. It's quite different from what I do back home. So I'm really thankful for this opportunity. And yeah, it's been best.
And what are you going to take away from this convention? I know you're working back home. What are you going to take away from it?
Take home is the global appeal, of course. From my time here, I've learned a few skills that I would like to take home, such as the intense work rate, tools, skills. I learned a bit of editing today, so that's a big plus for me. So I'm definitely taking that back home.
Alrighty, editing is definitely going to be beneficial.
Awesome. Hi. Well, tell me your name and where you're from.
I'm Robert Malit. I'm from Nairobi, Kenya.
Very cool. So how are you enjoying convention so far?
It's cool. We've engaged in different activities, and I've learned a lot.
Cool. So what do you think is like the biggest thing that you've done here? I mean, I'm sure you've done a lot of hard work just working here. What is one thing that really stood out to you that you're going to take home with you?
There are actually two things. One, I did ride the roller coaster for the first time, and I also met some Somalis from Kenya, and we got to engage as well.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for joining us today.
Alrighty, thank you both. And we have some more students joining us. I mean, it just keeps getting better and more perspectives, which I think is helpful for not only the students, but everybody at the convention. So first, want to just tell me your name and where you're from.
My name is Gugu Pandle. I'm from South Africa in a small town called East London.
And you're on the Converge team, is that correct?
No, I'm on the online team.
Okay. And explain your experience being on the online team.
Well, it's been really beneficial. I'm an online journalist back home. I've gathered some tools that I can use to enhance our digital platform. I attended a couple of workshops too, so that's been really, really interesting. Learning how to create infographics, taking video, tweeting, live. It's been cool.
And you really, you lit up when you talked about those workshops. What's one workshop that just stands out to you?
Yesterday, I attended a workshop on visual storytelling. So how to use visual stimulation, basically, to tell the story, how our readers are more interested in what they see, picture-wise, video-wise, motion, things moving. And so it was really, really interesting. 2 guys from Reuters came to speak to us. So I was really actually honored to be in their presence, because, I mean, we sourced quite a lot from Reuters as well. And they had a lot of information to give. So that was my most memorable workshop.
Alrighty, thank you so much.
Very cool. Hi, thanks for joining us today, and thanks for joining us at the NABJ convention. What is your name?
My name is Sinobo Machangaza. I'm from South Africa, East London.
Very cool, thank you. So you're with the photography team. Tell me a little bit more about how that experience is and what you're kind of getting out of that.
I've received a lot of experience in terms of working with experienced mentors like Akili. There's a lot that I've learned in terms of meeting deadlines, in terms of getting everything. When you're out on the assignment, you don't just go there and then take pictures and go back. You have to get everything that you need for the picture, because you might have a good picture, but without every information that is needed for the picture, that picture is just useless. So I've learned a lot from.
No, it's definitely. I mean, that's journalism. So you said you worked on a lot of really cool stories just working around. What is your favorite story that you think you'll be going home and telling your friends there?
I've been doing standalone mostly. I didn't do stories where I was going out with a reporter, but I've been doing standalones mostly. Yes.
Cool. Well, thank you so much. Thank you for being here at the convention. We're really glad that you guys joined us.
Alrighty, thank you so much. And student projects is something that has been going on for more than 20 years. It's an honor to be a part of this program, but there are plenty of people that have paved the way before us. Check out some of their stories.
Usually room 205A is a conference room in the Minneapolis Convention Center, but for this week only, it's a working newsroom. Many young journalists are getting hands-on experience that will help them in their professional growth.
State police are investigating.
Damani Lewis says he learned some valuable lessons from that hands-on experience in his first job.
And they played the live shot the night before where I just completely just messed up. And they said, if this ever happens again, you're fired.
Student Projects is the brainchild of Walter Middlebrook and Dr. Sheila Brooks. Middlebrook worked with print students and Brooks worked with broadcast students.
It just has grown over the years into one of the most respected initiatives that this organization has ever done.
You come from a place like Minneapolis to a convention where you see thousands of black people who are doing what I'm doing. That was like revolt, just revolutionary.
For more than 20 years, NABJ has matched students with professional mentors during the week of the annual convention. That is a week Marissa Evans will never forget. She was part of Student Projects in 2012.
In between yelling at us about, missing slot or missing deadline or turning in like copy that's a little bit rough, they still loved us enough to tell us, you can do better.
We try to relay it to them.
Lewis echoes that sentiment and pays it forward.
I try to give back whenever, some student will call me back from NABJ short course from 10 years ago, and I might not remember the name, but you know what? I will always listen.
Student Projects has produced some of the most notable journalists and even some of the most notable emerging journalists. And one of those, Brittany Noble-Jones, will actually be honored with the Emerging Journalist of the Year award. And this award recognizes somebody that has shown passion and that has shown balanced coverage within the Black community. And she says she used social media, which very, very much helped her.
I just used Instagram, I used social media to report what was going on because that's how people were asking me what was going on. And I didn't even realize at the time that it was going to be a major national news story. And if it wasn't for my mentors here egging me on, saying, Brittany, you do not stop reporting on this story. Keep going. You're not tired.
Well, coming up next, while many of us are looking ahead of the future, it's very important to know your shoe game. We'll tell you more about that.
All of us at WCCO TV are honored to support the National Association of Black Journalists.
Your commitment to recognizing and developing talent and providing programs and services to Black journalists worldwide is truly inspiring.
Thank you, NABJ.
Minnesotans know you gotta make your weekends count, so you start planning Friday.
Really? Friday? You're kidding, right?
Okay, Thursday.
Seriously?
Wednesday?
Wow. Does your boss know?
Okay, yeah, we start planning before Friday too.
Busted.
And this just doesn't cut it.
Nope.
So each Wednesday, we'll take this and break it down to this. Every forecast, every show, fine-tuning as we go. Make the most of your time off with WCCO's Weekend Walkthrough. Football starts here. Thursday Night Football is on CCO.
At NBC Universal, we continue to honor those before us and add to this rich living history, continuing the tradition of sharing the most entertaining, inspiring, and pertinent stories of our time.
WCCO, always.
So nowadays, many Black women are embracing their natural hair.
Yeah, I'm sorry to say that I have not gotten on the natural hair train. Maybe one day, but our own Brandy Peterson, she definitely talked to a bunch of people who have. What did they say?
Well, I found a number of people who are here embracing the natural hair that Black women, have naturally. And I even talked to a student here. She's a rising senior at the University of Illinois. This is a great piece, and let's check it out. Ready. We are here at the 40th annual NABJ conference here in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're asking the question so many Black women want to know the answer to be or not to be natural.
If you're on TV, I'd rather you be natural than fake.
Do you want to see more Black women wearing their hair natural?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I tell my friends all the time, like, hey, you might want to do the big chop. It's liberating. You're going to love it. Because I was the type of person like, no, you're not putting scissors in my long hair. Now that I've done it, I'm like, yes, best decision ever.
I have been scouring this entire conference looking for somebody who's on air, who wears their hair natural. Please tell me why you think it's important for us Black women to rock the natural hair as on-air talent in news.
Well, I just think it's important to not conform to what everyone else is doing. I feel like the standard of beauty in society today is straight hair, maybe straight long hair, and I think that we should just wear our hair the way that it grows and not try to have a certain look that is not really true to who we are.
But one thing that's way more important than hair is the fact that it's your birthday.
Happy birthday!
So from everybody here at the Student Projects at NABJ, we just want to say happy
birthday.
Thank you so much, guys. I love all of you.
Thank you. Happy
Hopefully we get
birthday.
out early enough so you can celebrate. Alrighty, have a good one.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You know, Zara, one thing that I can't stand is wearing heels. I mean, that's why I always wear flats. I mean, can you imagine all the hard work that we've been doing here, running around, walking miles and miles? I mean, we do a lot of walking here. Imagine wearing high heels.
Oh, I can't imagine it, but I've definitely seen it. I've seen high heels, I've seen flats, I've seen sandals, and our own Dayon Morton is here. He actually got to the bottom of it. You went and talked to people about it.
You know, many of us are coming to this convention looking ahead at our futures, but I had to take a look below and see just how important wearing the right shoes is at this year's convention.
All right, let's take a look.
This is a long walk from the hotel to the convention center.
A few feet away, you change into the heels.
I do check out shoes.
Because appearance is everything.
It completes the look.
It actually makes the outfit.
Colors, look for color, look for style.
Well, you have to make sure the shoes coordinate with the belt too. So there's a combination that you have to do there.
Heels are just really hard to walk in general.
I say that to every single woman I see wearing heels. Like, how do you do that?
You have to have your foot like pointed the whole time.
It's pain.
Our feet are like this in a shoe.
I imagine it to be a painful feeling, but I don't really know.
I understand how the pain that they're going through because I'm going through it myself. You know, I have on a nice pair of shoes, I think. And my feet are killing me. My feet are killing me as well.
Yeah, but
so.
your feet aren't up in a heel like that.
But they look good in their shoes, I'll say that much.
Beauty is pain sometimes. You know, especially if they're super high, my feet are starting to hurt.
Definitely.
Keeping flats is very important.
They're right over here.
They're right here. Yes, sir, Bob.
And notice that they coordinate with the dress. That's very important.
I'll be switching them out soon. It's good to be cute, but you don't want to be painful and cute.
I'm comfortable. Look, I went for comfort because I knew if my feet were going to start hurting, I was going to start tipping, and they were going to know. So I went for comfort today.
My feet are saying that I should go home and get like a massage.
You can give that extra edge in your appearance. 2 hours in heels is nothing compared to a job or a career opportunity.
You know, so in that story, you saw a perspective of both men and women. And we don't often think about what men have to go through, too, with shoes. But I know women have it a lot harder. But, you know, we have it, too. But, yeah, it's a really interesting story to go see just how important shoes are at a convention like this.
Yeah, most definitely. And I know we've seen a bunch of different types of shoes, so that piece was very interesting. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you. You know, you just can't come to Minneapolis without knowing or thinking about or even just feeling the presence of the mega superstar here.
I know, and our own Marcel Warfield got to go to Prince's own stomping grounds. Take a look.
A lot of history, that's no doubt. These are photographs of my last 30 years here, including one of His Majesty right there.
This is Daniel Corrigan. He's a photographer at a nightclub in Minneapolis called First Avenue, where the artist Prince first laid his royal touch on stage.
Prince basically played enough times here to become sort of a regular. I mean, he was a very special performer.
I was like, oh, that's what we doing.
Just ask Paula Madison.
He says, get off the stage, you sexy thing.
Author Paula Madison is a former NBC broadcast executive and a friend of Prince.
And a lot of what we bonded over had to do with our view of the world.
He invited her to his concert, and it led to a night to remember.
All I heard was, well, Paula, let's, and then he did, you know, the Prince spin. And then the band really started picking up, and I looked down again, and I was like, okay, it's on.
Dancing with someone who's notoriously private and having a moment most fans only dream of.
It had nothing to do with me, and it was all about, wow, how did I get to be so blessed?
A favorite entertainer for us to have here.
Perhaps the time spent with Prince makes both fans feel like stars.
Do you know what you're doing Saturday night?
You know, I heard through the grapevine that there is a special concert happening. If you're smart, you may or may not know who I'm talking about, but I'm sure everyone is very, very excited about Prince coming out and being in Minneapolis and showing NABJ a good time on Saturday. So I would definitely look out for that.
Most definitely. I mean, Prince is such a great wrap-up for this convention.
Yes, and that is all we have for you today. But I just want to say thank you to everyone that was a part of this project, not only this webcast, but everything that we did throughout the week.
Most definitely thank you to the mentors and the hardworking videographers, photographers, I mean, just everyone who came out and really helped us today. I mean, we have learned a ton in these past few days, so thank you to all those folks.
All right, it's been a pleasure working with everyone. Have a great rest of the convention.
Thank you.